Okay, we might have some special guests making little sneak appearances on the show today, so I encourage you to stay tuned all the way through, starting right off the top. Leigh Ann Allaire Perrault, get on in here, girl. Looking awesome. How are you?
I'm great.
Now, the set is absolutely gorgeous. People wonder about this all the time. Where do I get my design inspiration from? How do I start? And you've got some good tips for us today.
That has to be the #1 question when I'm talking to homeowners. They always say, where do I begin? And that's the hardest thing. And it's not just about where you begin, but also how you define your style.
Okay.
Because what I find what happens is those people who don't know how to define their style, there's two things that happen. One is we get kind of lazy and we go and we buy a set of everything that matches.
Yes.
Right? And then you become a showroom. It's not a home. Or the other thing is when you can't define what your style is, you end up being eclectic. And I honestly feel like that's just a scapegoat for saying I have no idea what I like, so I buy a little bit of everything.
You got a whole room full of junk.
Exactly, you do.
Nothing matches, there's no rhyme or reason, there's no theme.
Exactly, and thank goodness I have to say we've gotten away from themed rooms in the 80s. If you remember those, like people would say, oh, let's do a surf theme, and they'd literally hang a surfboard on the wall. We don't do that anymore, which is great, but I think we've almost gone to the other extreme where there's so much available in different styles. It is hard to pinpoint one so that you can create a cohesive look. Not that you can't be eclectic and mix styles. So I've come up with a little trick that I use with my clients and with homeowners when they can't define their style.
Okay.
So when you start with where do I begin, I always say start with like the logistics of the shopping list. So if you need a sofa, figure out the size of sofa you need. You need an area rug, figure all those things out and make your shopping list.
So be practical.
But be practical. But then you need to make a second shopping list. And that is of adjectives. Describing words, because that's the best and easiest way to become emotionally attached to a space.
Okay.
And then that becomes your shopping list. If it doesn't fit one of those words, you don't buy it. So when you see that she poof poo pom pom lamp and it's on sale for like $4, even though it's such a good price, don't buy it because it's not going to go with your stuff unless she poo poo are your adjectives, right?
That's actually very smart. It's going to limit you. It's going to get you to edit, and it's going to get you
on
thinking
track
and focus. Okay, so let's come up with some adjectives that might describe you or me.
Well, so the first one for this space is bold. So whether you want to be, I had Tracy in mind for this set.
Bold,
I wanted to create something for you. So bold was one of my considerations with creating the set.
Okay.
Another one that I thought would be fun to include is vintage.
That's so you.
And you know what? It's easy to do now because there's so much available at flea markets, at garage sales, where you can find those beautiful curated pieces that you can't just buy at a big box. They really add the personality.
I'm going to get you to pause on number 3.
Yes, let's stay with.
Okay, so we've got some vintage, we've got some bold, and we've got a special guest here today to help us out. Julie Black, the one and only Canadian Come on in
Where
here.
do I go?
You stay right here.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to think of an adjective we might be able to use for Julie.
Tall.
Tall.
Like, honestly,
tall. You give me tall.
if I take off my shoes, hi, Julie.
That's all you got for me, tall?
I'm her little sister.
We're just gonna go buy all types of tall things.
No, I think I have a better adjective for Julie.
What do you
knowing
think?
she was going to be here today, I think, listen, if you can't have Julie as the accessory in your room, then you definitely need to go shopping for a little bit of glam.
Yes, girl.
Right?
Yes,
we'll take glam.
Yes, take glam. And run with it. So you have used all of these adjectives and created this space, and I think all 3 of us would look good in this room.
Well, I definitely agree.
Right?
But so here's the thing. When you go shopping, you're going to have this list burned into your brain or even write it down. As if people carry paint chips around with them, write down the words. So I went to HomeSense, and what I love about HomeSense is they actually curate areas of their store that will fit in these categories, so you know not to go to one area if that's not the mood or feel that you want.
Right.
And plus you can find some really beautiful pieces that can bring these adjectives to life. I have to say too, this works perfectly for the husband and wife or the partner spouse scenario where you can't decide. You compromise. One person throws in a word, another person throws in a word,
like that.
and then you
That's a good
naturally
idea.
create a harmonized look.
Yeah, go sit. What do you like in this? What do you like in this set?
Yes, I want to know what jumps out at you
It
most.
looks good, but I don't know. We got to see
If
the
it
booty
feels good?
If it feels all right. Okay.
What's your booty saying?
It's saying,
Okay.
I like that adjective.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, it's working for her.
It's working.
So the
I like
glam
it.
elements for Julie that I picked out was all of the gold. I just thought that those gold, the little bit of bling to really dress things up. Glam also, as well as this had a really
love
vintage
this.
feel at that statement piece of artwork. And then, of course, it's bold. It's dramatic. Every room that you want to be bold, just add a little bit touch of that beautiful, like, charcoal or black element to it, and it's so rich and exotic.
All the nail head design on the chairs,
Glam.
the crystal glasses,
Vintage.
the gold, the vintage, the glam, the fur, the faux fur, everything about it speaks volumes about all of these words. So I love it. It is a great space.
I think I look good in this space.
I think you do.
Yeah, you
I
can
think
just
you should
hire me
stay.
to just stay.
I actually
Stay.
don't want you to go away, and I encourage people to stick around after the break. Miss Julie Black is going to be performing, and she's going to knock the socks off. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Also, about my vintage friend right here, the Toronto Fall Home Show arrives at Exhibition Place and runs from September 18th through to the 21st. Miss Leigh Ann will be at the home show taking part in a one-of-a-kind upcycle challenge.
Upcycle challenge, and I'll also be speaking on stage about how to create this type of look with DIY projects to get you there in your home.
Okay, well, everyone in our audience is going to take home tickets. So make sure you go check her out.